Welcome to the Rewards Master. Today I'm just going to go through some of the better redemptions that we've had on premium economy and also on business class flights from the US to Europe and other places, because I think that it's important for people to see that their points have real value and can actually get you an incredible experience. Now, some of the things on this list are going to be things that are no longer available. And that also teaches us a lesson, and that is that points and miles, they change, they devalue, because programs will go through an adjustment as to what their points are worth. And you've always got to always be ready for that change. And that kind of motivates us to book things when we find them and to have the points and miles available to do so. So if you would hit the like and subscribe button, and let me share with you just a few of the things we've experienced that hopefully will help you as you're trying to use your points and miles to the very best that you possibly can for the best redemptions. As I mentioned, some of these on this list are no longer available at that price. And when I know the new price, I'll try to make that clear to you. But it shows us that some things, when you see them, you probably shouldn't wait and say, well, this is a great deal, but you know, we can't do it this year or next year. Maybe we'll do it in a few years from now. Well, in a few years from now, in all likelihood, some of those deals won't be there anymore. And that's a very, very stark reality of this points and miles hobby that has to be kept at the forefront of our mind as we're searching for great reward redemptions. Now, I'm going to mention just one premium economy flight to get started because it was a really, I thought, an incredible deal. And that is that we flew on premium economy on Virgin Airlines from JFK to London. And the taxes and fees were high for premium economy. You know, a typical one-way premium economy ticket might cost you anywhere from $600 to $1,400. And in this particular case, we got it for around $200 in taxes and fees, but it was only 10,000 Virgin miles. Now, it's right when they changed their program up and they put out their new deals that they were offering a sale at that time, and people were getting economy flights for 6,000 and premium economy for 10. So we booked the premium economy 10,000 miles, and what a deal, because just for that 200 bucks and those 10,000 miles, premium economy is just so much better than flying in the back of the plane. So I thought the points value on that was really high, well over 5 cents per point. And I thought it was a great use of our points. Now, Virgin still runs deals like that. If you're looking for it, you can still find great redemptions. I've seen people still getting the 6,000 point redemptions for economy and still getting the 10,000 point redemptions for premium economy. So check them out. That one's still somewhat available, even if you have to look hard to find availability. Now, the next four I'm going to mention as examples are all business class flights. And this first one is the very first business class flight we ever flew. And that was from Washington, D.C., IED, over to Rome with a layover in Brussels. And it was on United Polaris. Now, this one had the most incredible taxes and fees, $5.60. It was just nothing, unbelievable. And it's before United changed their prices. So we got it for 65,000 points each. And I will tell you, it was worth it all day. For 65,000 points, I would fly United any day of the week. Now, I said that this has changed. Well, they still have the very, very low taxes and fees, just $5, $5.60. But now their prices have went up. Sometimes you can find them for 80,000 points, but most of the time, 88,000 points. And I got to say, that's bumping up into the area where I would pay 88,000 points all day for business class to Asia from the US or back, but I'm hesitant to do that going over to Europe. So this is one of those deals that was here, that was available readily, and because of a devaluation have changed. Now, this next one is like unto the last in that you can't get it for this price anymore, but it was an amazing value. So we had always heard that one of the best business class airlines in the world is Turkish Airlines. So we wanted to try it. I was watching. I found a Turkish flight through Istanbul from New York City into Athens, Greece. And so we flew that. It was around 150-ish in taxes and fees, I believe. So we moved our points over to Turkish. We booked it through Turkish with their miles for only 45,000 points. And that was from JFK through Istanbul over to Athens. And I think it was like maybe 150-ish in taxes and fees. Now, 45,000 points to fly on Turkish in business class was unbelievable. That is a smoking redemption. Now, let me tell you, their price hasn't gone up that bad, but the circumstances change. So you can still get a flight to Istanbul from the United States in Turkish business class for 65,000 points, which that's a lot more than 45,000 points, but it's not getting up there like United into the 80,000 plus range. But the problem is now Turkish price is different. And so if you go on past Istanbul, then they're going to adjust the price accordingly, and it's going to be more than that. So if we ever use it again, we're going to go to Istanbul, and I'm going to book a second flight with some cheap carrier out of Istanbul to wherever we want to go. But I still think you can get a decent flight if you're willing to do it that way with positioning flights at the end. If you're willing to go into Istanbul, 65,000 points, not that bad of taxes and fees, pretty good redemption. This next one, it was just incredible, and it was pretty recent. This is still available, and it's often available. And that is, we flew on Qatar, what are often touted as the best business class product in the world. We flew on Qatar from Dubai through Doha and into Berlin, Germany. So a total of about 8 hours of flying time. It wasn't on their Q suites, but still a phenomenal business class experience. Great service, great seat, great food. And then you got to go into, because you're, the way they ticket that, when you're on that 45-minute flight from Dubai to Doha, that's ticketed as first class. So you get to go into probably the best lounge in the world, the first class Qatar lounge in Doha. It was just an incredible experience. But even more incredible than that was the price. It was like $50 or $60, something like that, in taxes and fees with American Airlines, and 42.5 thousand points for Qatar business class. Unbelievable. And that is still available, widely available with American Airlines. So check that one out. And that leads us to the top dog on this list. Now, this is not the best business class product we've ever flown. It was a good business class product. I would fly it again all day, every day, especially for this price, because this is the best smoking deal we've ever had. And that is, we flew on Iberia, that we booked through British Airways on their business class from Madrid back to the United States at JFK. We flew on them for 34,000 British Airways miles. 34,000. And the taxes and fees, they weren't cheap. They were between $150, $200, somewhere in that range, but they weren't super, super high. And I will pay that all day in taxes and fees for a quality business class flight, especially if I'm only having to spend 34,000 points. Now, this is supposedly still available, or at least close to that price, but I haven't seen much of it lately. It may have went up, but if it did, it went up into the low 40s, so it's still a pretty good deal to fly on Iberia. But Iberia is quirky, Turkish is quirky too, so you got to be careful. Make sure you dot all your I's and cross all your T's when you're using those programs. But we just did it through British Airways. So that's my list of the best deals we've gotten on that one premium economy flight, but generally on our business class flights. And I wanted to do this video to show you that when you're racking up these points and miles, you can get great deals. Every single one of the things we talked about today were well over 5 cents a point. Some of them were up in the 8, 9, 10 cents per point range. You can get great value if you just learn how to search. I use things like point.me and Points. Yeah, if you learn how to search, and if you've got a little bit of flexibility on when you go and where you want to go, you can kill it when it comes to being able to get great redemption values in this points and miles hobby. And so all I want to encourage you to do is go forth and get great deals. If you would, in the comments below, tell me some of the best deals you've had. Tell me some great redemptions, what your cent per point was, or maybe just how much it cost and what a good experience it was. I'd love to hear you brag a little bit about some of the things that you've been able to do with points from this great, great hobby. Please hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you here next time.